Hi guys! So it's been quite a while since the last time I put up a video, and I'm sorry about that. I was trying to find some recording software that didn't bring a virus to my computer, as several of them do, or some that require you have a free trial and then it won't work for you. Anyway, I found out this program is built into my brand new computer. So quick update. I'm about 8 months pregnant. Lots of fun stuff. Coming up in late March, early April. So, not too bad. Dysphoria's been, well, you can probably expect it hasn't been real great, seeing as how I can't wear my binder. I look blatantly like a woman because of my pregnancy. Worth it, though, to have this sweet little baby I'm about to have. This video is going to be mainly on, I know it's going to kind of sound funny, but birth control. And I bring this up because my doctors actually brought it up because, after this pregnancy, they're wondering, like, oh, are you gonna, you're gonna probably wait a while to have another one. Did you want to look into birth control? And I'm thinking, yeah, that actually sounds like a really good idea. Because I would like to have another kid just later on down the road. And you have your regular ones that it's like you take the pill every day for a period of time. You get shots or even the ones that you insert into you. And I couldn't think of one that would really work. So I asked for something really specific. I said, is there a birth control that effectively stops my period or reduces it to basically nothing? And that's something you should sincerely talk to your doctor about. Something specific like that. If you're like me and for whatever reason you can't or you don't want to start hormones yet, there you go. The difficulty with that is if you have really traditional parents, they're going to think you're having sex. And even if you sit there and try to explain that's not its only, that's not birth control's only function, it also can help regulate periods as well as stop them depending on what kind you have. And for that, I'm so sorry. If you can find a way to have your doctor sit down and talk to your parents and convince them that this isn't because you want to have sex, this is because you want to stop your periods. Good luck. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, definitely talk to your doctor about it anyway, especially, even if you're not having traditional sex where it's, as a male and female body people, those, you know what I mean. Even if there's no way you can get pregnant, having a birth control or at least looking into one is actually a really good idea, especially, like I said, for like regulating periods, especially if you have a funky one. And you can talk to your doctor about specific ones that like stop or completely reduce your periods. Because, like I said, I want to have another kid later on. It's just, I don't know how long from having this child to the next child it's going to be. And I've already dealt with this thing for so many years. I hate it. As most of you who are born female and have to deal with that, you already feel uncomfortable with it because it's just brand new thing, hormones going crazy. But for those of you who are like, you're not really meant to be a girl or you don't feel really comfortable like that, you just don't feel right. And it's ridiculous because everyone's going to look at you and be like, oh, you're fine, that's normal. And it's like you're stuck with this for years and they're still like, that's normal. Like, I'm pretty certain I should have gotten used to this by now. I still don't feel right. Anyway. So there's that. On a quick side note, I found an article. Sadly, I only found one. Sadly, didn't find any sources to tell me exactly where it came from. But apparently there are studies, there are studies for transgender women to get uterus transplants, to have babies. And I'm really sorry, I don't have very much information on it, but you should if you are a transgender woman and you want to have kids, perhaps there's more information that I can't find. I just thought I'd bring that up as a quick, like, oh, hey, you know, I remember reading that somewhere. And honestly, that was one of my biggest plans, because even when first discovering that, oh, I'm actually a trans man, I still wanted to have kids. I've wanted to have kids for so long. And I knew that once I was done having kids, no matter how many I ended up having, if it was possible, and there was nothing wrong with my uterus, I wanted to give it to someone. Basically, transplant it to someone who, transgender or not, may not physically be able to have kids for some reason. It was one of my biggest dreams. Have my kids help someone else have kids who really wants them. You know? And I know I've said this before. If you don't want to have kids, don't let people sit there and make you feel bad for it. Like, if you don't feel bad about people giving you crap for this, good on you. But I know there are plenty of people who are like, oh, you don't want to have kids? What is wrong with you? You're a woman. You should be able to be proud of having kids. It's so sexist. Like, yeah, okay, I'm a woman. Doesn't mean I want to have kids. Doesn't mean you hate kids. You can still work in a daycare, as a teacher, as a babysitter, and absolutely adore kids and just not want to have any of your own. You could get married and have puppies as your kids, or cats, or, you know, some other kind of pet. They're a lot easier and cheaper to take care of kids anyway. But if you want to have kids, go for it. If you, like me, are a transgender man who wants to have kids, don't sit there and let people invalidate you and go, oh, that means you want to be a woman. No. There are plenty of men who want to be parents too. I actually knew someone, a guy. He was a cisgendered guy who would have loved to have children, like physically birth the kids. That doesn't mean he wants to be a woman. He's happy with the gender he was born as. He just wants to have the joy of having kids. That's not to say you won't have any joy if you don't have kids. I'm just using the phrase that a lot of people use. The joy of having kids. Personally, I will have lots of joy in having this child. But if I didn't have this child, that doesn't mean I'd be joyless. It's ridiculous and completely sexist. So if you just don't care, great. If you're someone who just can't help it, and you take that stuff to heart, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with that. You're a human being. There are plenty of times that I'm just like, you're right. They're not. But there are plenty of times I take things to heart. Not to say I'm extremely special. I'm just trying to tell you it's fine. You're a human being. We're not perfect. We can't just let everything slide off of us. And those of you who can, that's awesome. But there you go. I think that's about it. That's all I really wanted to talk about. I really want to get back into making videos. I ran out of things to talk about, and then I got viruses on my computer and lost the recording software. And if you have any suggestions for me to talk about, if it's something I don't really know enough about, I will research the heck out of it until I know enough that I feel comfortable talking about it. Or if you have any questions that I might be able to answer, whether they're personal or they just have to do with being a transgender man or, you know, other related things, I will gladly answer them to the best of my ability. So there you go. You can send me random comments, too, on my YouTube channel. Pardon me. Or my Tumblr. You know, either one's fine. So, on that note, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, week, month, year, so on and so forth, and you guys stay safe.